All right. Hello, and welcome to Magical Market, a game of Dungeons and Dragons and drawings. We're a bunch of cartoonists, illustrators, and comic creators that won't just be playing the game, but drawing what happens along the way. Tonight, we are breaking from the Halon Saga one last time to wrap up the Queen's Pride multi-shot. Our cast, once again, is... let's go with Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm going to be playing Quarthus, the mastermind rogue, Loxodon, who is like those hippos from Fantasia, very large but very dainty and quiet and good at acrobatics. Yes, that's me.
Then Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'll be playing Bobo Loco, who is a halfling tavern brawler turned cop.
Yes. And Priscilla.
Priscilla, and I am playing Suk, who is a moon druid barbarian kobold.
Nice. Yeah, and me. Hi, I'm Matt, your humble DM for this evening. So, the story so far began with an attempted assassination. Wait, hold on. My words don't work. The story so far began with an assassination attempt. I've got an attempted assassin. That's not good words. So the story so far began with an assassination attempt. Yes.
No, the story began with an attempted recap.
Recap. That's true. That's also true. Although the target, the Queen, was missed entirely, with an Orcish ambassador taking the hit instead. Poison in her veins, she is now in a critical state, and tensions have come to a tipping point as a result between the two groups. Evidence has led the group to the assassin's apartment, where they were jumped by another assassin, an Elvish assassin. More clues were found, and the assassin thwarted, but with more questions than answers, Quarthus turned to a contact that works from the shadows. All signs now point to a midnight meeting at a warehouse in the Northern Trades Ward. But there are still some more clues to uncover and more answers to find. We rejoin our players as they stand together on a dock near the Skull Crack Inn, a tavern in the dock ward, as night begins to fall and midnight draws closer and closer. What would you like to do?
Go to the warehouse.
Okay. It's about like 7-ish in the afternoon, so sun's starting to set. You're getting those beautiful colors on the horizon, and the lamps in town are starting to flicker on, the gas flames wiggling about. You want to go directly to the warehouse, or
No, we'll take the scenic route. Please explain everything that we see along the way.
I want to actually stop every person that I see on the way and interrogate them as to their past.
Did you know the Queen nearly died?
Their name.
NPC, what's your name?
Their relations.
Yeah. I want 5 generations of family history for every single NPC we pass.
Alright.
I guess we'll head in that direction.
So yeah, you want to go straight to the warehouse? There's nothing else you want to do beforehand?
We had our... I marked down a short rest that we had.
Yeah.
So I think we go back to the pub and have a drink.
Okay. You kind of regroup in the pub and try to piece things together, and realize that the warehouse is the quickest route to finding answers at this stage. And in hindsight, if I knew it would take several sessions to get to this point, I might not have given you that info at the start. I might have given you some other information which would be more pertinent. But hey, this is part of running a game for the first time. You're my guinea pigs. So, you make your way to...
Elvis had?
Sorry?
I don't know what kind of pants Elvis had. I don't know, like... I kind of know, like, the upper part of Elvis. I'm drawing
He
an
had like
Elvis
bell
assassin.
bottom. He had like bell bottoms like
white.
that, and they were real sparkly. And I think he wore like platform shoes. Like that.
Alright, so You head to Trades Ward North. You find the warehouse, Van Cromwell's Trading Co. And I mean, you have the address. You kind of find it easily enough. The city's starting to pick up with nightlife. News of the attempted assassination hasn't reached the city yet. People seem to know that something happened, but they're not quite sure what. But everyone's still kind of partying. The mood in town is pretty upbeat still. It's quite pleasant out. But you make your way to the warehouse. How would you like to make your approach?
Can you describe is it like a warehouse amongst other warehouses? Like, are we coming up, like, is there a way to approach, like, oh yeah, there's a big park across from it, like, what's the lay of the land?
So it's, the way I see it in my mind's eye is that it's kind of, Trades Ward is very much like a warehouse district with some shop fronts. Trades Ward South definitely is more industrial looking because it's closer to the industrial quarter and closer to the docks ward. But the North Ward is kind of it's split between retail and some overflow for the warehouses. So the area that you're in is definitely the higher end of things. It's like where the richer merchants might keep their warehouses, I would say. Like the roads look a bit cleaner. There's more light about. But in the evenings it tends to get a little bit quieter. Not as many like cafes and bars and that sort of thing. So it might actually make more sense for me to pop you over to a map so you can tell me how you want to approach. So you're on the street on the south.
We should maybe approach the people who we sent over here to spy on the place. Maybe, talk to some of the constables in the area to see if anything's been going on. Go one of the police boxes.
Because you had asked some people to keep an eye on it while you conducted your investigation.
Sure, but how are we supposed to find them? Didn't we send them and tell them to be stealthy? Or
well, there should
plane or something.
There should be some sort of police nearby that we can ask if others have been by recently and what they've reported in.
Well, yeah, you tell me what you want to do. Do you want to just walk past it and have a look, kind of scope it out? Because you are still in your civilian clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or did you want to get changed before you went down? Like,
happy to be in civilian.
Yeah.
So I think that affects. Did we say that affects your AC?
Well, I'm wearing leather still.
Okay. That's
I have my city leather.
And Bobo Loco doesn't need armor, so I think.
I don't wear armor either, so.
Yeah. Then yeah, you're all good. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. Yeah, you make your way down. Oh, give me a perception check. So the warehouse is kind of like set into the corner of a block. The bottom southwest corner. There's a gate that's maybe about like 7 to 8 feet high, made of wood, with a gate at the front. The building is made entirely of wood, and on the side of the building it says Van Cromwell's Imports and Exports, painted on there in that Victorian style writing. Streets are kind of quiet. The lights have come on, and there's a few people around, but not too many. And sorry, what did you roll?
I got a 15.
18.
Yeah, you kind of 21. You see 21. Okay. Yeah, you spot some people you recognize in civilian clothes, and they look to be just like down one of the alleyways, pretending to play. Well, they look like they're playing dice, keeping like out of eyesight, but still able to keep an eye on the front gate, as it were.
Can we approach them?
Yeah. You see them, they kind of like, they're shuffling the bones and like throwing them against the wall. But they're not like cheering or shouting or anything. It's like at first glance, if someone looked down, they just see a couple of ne'er-do-wells playing dice. And they hear you approach. And as they kind of like look, they do a double take, seeing someone coming towards them. They all stand up, kind of alert, and then you see that alertness soften into like, oh, we know you. And like, how fares the investigation?
All signs lead to here. So, did you see anything?
No one in or out all day. Pops up another one.
Did anyone case the joint? Did you get a
Not
look
that we could
inside?
see. No. We were told to just keep eyes on it.
All right. Guess we're going
Kinda
in
squat
then.
down next to them and go, did anyone win anything?
This is just for show. We're just we're not putting any money here. It's just we don't get paid enough to gamble. Another one says, besides, Barry would take all our money. And they kind of chuckle to one another. So, why do you want to have a go?
Sure.
All right.
Got time for a few tosses of the dice, don't we?
I believe we do.
It's not like we're doing anything else important, you know. It's not like we're trying to investigate who's trying to murder the queen or anything.
They didn't, though. We aren't.
But they might still. They didn't get her, did they?
Wait, I thought that's what we were doing. So what have we been doing this entire time?
We're trying to find out who was trying to murder the queen.
You just said that. It's not like we're trying to find out who turned the what?
All right, we're going in.
Did you scout it for other entrances and exits?
Yeah, we took a look down the alleyways. Doesn't seem to be any entrances that way. No physical ones, at least. We had a look, but it's kind of hard to be quiet about that because, well. And as you look over, you can see the fence between buildings is almost as high as the fence in that front area. It reaches up pretty high. So they're like, we had a peek through it, and it just seemed like a dirt alleyway. Some rubbish about.
How big is the? Or are there holes in the fence?
Little ones that you could like kind of like peek through, just put an eye up to and have a look.
Is it a wooden fence or like a metal? Like
That's wood. Yeah, both fences are made of wood.
Okay. I would probably try to find a place that is a little bit less obvious. Maybe somewhere like behind a box. And I will dramatically flourish my cape over myself, and then and then you see this little mouse poke its head out underneath. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I think you, as a mouse, you could definitely like get underneath the fence if you wanted to. Which did you want to go to the one that leads behind the building, or the one in front that leads into the behind the gate?
I think I'll probably check out the gate area first, since that might be where they smoked.
So yeah, they'll say the front area is like where they keep the horses, I guess, when they bring the carts in. So it's not much there, but there's a door that leads in, and then double doors that lead inside. Yeah, It's hard to say. There's no way to get a good look on the inside, almost like it was designed that way. Which, you know, we think it's a bit suspicious, and you're like, yeah, we think it's suspicious. These are not as high placed as you are in the Queen's Pride.
Are you guys armed?
And they kind of open their jackets, and you can see there's a short sword and a pistol tucked in there.
You got our backs if we go in.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Just go on the front door then. No use sneaking around.
Okay. Follow your lead. I don't have tokens for them, but I can get some real quick. Actually, give me a persuasion check. Just to see if they will go.
19?
Okay. Yeah, they're like, all right, yeah, we got your back. So, so sorry, Priscilla, which way did you want to go?
I'm going in through the front.
Front? Okay.
I've probably scurried off before I hear Bilbo Loco saying, "We'll just kick down the door. There's no need to sneak around."
Oh dear. Okay, hold on. I'm just revealing it on the map. Okay. I do not have a mouse token for you, though, I'm afraid. Okay, so that front area is you see like muddy tracks lead through the dirt into the interior. There's a couple of water barrels here, a door meant for humanoid use on the north side, and then obviously a cart entrance on the eastern side. That's more or less what you see in your mouse form. Do you have any?
Oh, I've already passed through the walls.
Yeah, you just found a little spot, and you kind of like ducked under it, and like I'd say you're kind of like hiding behind one of those barrels on the south side there. And you're just looking about.
Go through what smells like there are people. Whichever one smells stronger.
Okay, give me a perception check. 10? The smells here kind of get a little bit muddied. There's human smells. Well, not human, but like humanoid smells. There's horse smells. There's like some form of incense, horse manure. Like there's quite a lot of things going on. But you do suspect that there are some sort of humanoid people on the inside.
Well, I'll just go wherever the biggest hole is that I can slip through.
I think the biggest one will be on the double door. So you kind of like pop through in the south, like right in the middle between the two. How far does your vision extend as a mouse?
If you use rats, dark vision 30 feet. So I guess it'd be normal vision 30 feet as well.
Okay.
I do have advantage on perception checks relying on smell, I just noticed.
Oh yeah? Okay. Good to know. Okay. So you push your way underneath the doors. Also, give me a stealth check.
Okay. Guess that would just be regular. 15.
Okay. So you kind of like squeak your way through these double doors. The widest part being in the middle where they meet. And you enter into like a warehouse that is divided into two levels. The front area that you're currently in is open to the ceiling, but then further on the north side and the eastern side is like a second level above a lot of boxes that are just packed underneath there. You see a set of stairs on the south that lead up, and then there's another set on the northwest side that also lead up there. And in the back top, like northeastern corner, is what looks like an office.
Do I see people here?
Make another perception check.
Is this smell based or vision based?
If you're trying to smell them out, you can try that. If it's vision based, then it's different. It's a single roll.
I mean, it's probably smell based because nice. But 11. None of the rolls pretty great. So yeah.
With advantage, okay. You sniff about. There's a mixture of smells again. You can definitely pick up some horse, and there's definitely humanoid. It's like a musty smell. Just things being stored here for a long period of time, dirt settling and type of thing. But there doesn't seem to be anybody around.
Well, I guess as part of this, I suppose I was probably just doing like a quick little scamper around to check, see if there are people there. I kind of want to push against this office door area.
Oh, you want to head up?
Oh yeah, that would have been. Just to see if it's if there's anyone in there, since that's not a thing I'm seeing yet.
All right. Head upstairs. Okay, so you go up the north way or the south way? Because there's a door on the south here as well as where you are.
I'd probably go with the north way since I'm also checking out the rest of the area. Since I'm just doing a quick scouting to see if there's anyone around.
Okay. As you move through, you do see a leaning up against a crate just south of you, down here. Catch a glimpse of an elven figure just sitting there waiting, holding two swords. Long thin blades, just sitting down with their back against it. Looks like they're in some kind of like meditation or trance. They don't look up as you move past up there, though.
Can I ask a question about last week that I've forgotten, or last session? Did we ask Darius to meet us here? My memory was that they were going to also pretend to be the assassin when we were meeting around midnight. And I know it's not midnight yet, but am I wrong? Did we say to meet us here or not?
My understanding was that they were going to take the captured Elvish assassin back to the headquarters and put them in a cell and have them interrogated. Right.
And then we don't know if they're coming back or not.
I don't think so.
Okay.
My understanding was they were going to go and take care of that side of the investigation while you did this.
Okay, sure.
But if we want to do a quick retcon and say they're going to meet you here at midnight, I can probably say that's okay. It's currently like 8:30 in the evening. There's some time before they will arrive, but...
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Priscilla.
So I want to investigate this office area, see if there's a thing I can poke my head in, and see if there's anyone in there.
There's like a little gap underneath the door you can kind of like squeeze through, kind of wriggle through, your butt gets caught, but then you just like pop through. And inside there, you see sitting behind a desk is an elven woman wearing glasses, short bob of brown hair, dressed rather well, just kind of like filling out paperwork, just writing things and looking at it real quick and then putting that aside and filling something out. not really saying anything, just working on something at their desk.
Well, I'm gonna look around and then I will try to head. Instead of going through the office, I'm just gonna back out and scurry along the outer wall. And kind of see if there's anybody else guarding this area, like on the southern stairs, before exiting. Trying to make my way around the trancing elf standing guard.
Sure. Okay. All right. So, it's not updated. Trying to show people at home what you're seeing. So, yeah. Where are you heading from there?
South around the trancing elf, very quietly, just to see if there's anybody else who's like guarding that southern stairs.
Oh, okay.
Or if he's the only guard here.
As you come south, give me another stealth check, please.
Dice don't fail me now. 8.
8. Okay. You pass the first one, no problem. They're deep in some sort of trance or meditation of some kind. You just sneak around behind them, and they don't even seem to notice you. As you come around this set of crates, you see another elf just kind of sitting there by this winch, used for raising and lowering crates up onto that second level. He's just kind of... He looks almost identical to the other one. Is the first thing you notice. But the token art is definitely intentional. But yeah, they look like they could be twins, but also kind of like there's some sort of like brown-haired, rotted out Legolas type guy. They're just guards of some description. And as you kind of peep around, he kind of like sneers and says, something in Elvish. Do you speak Elvish? No, someone did.
I speak Sylvan, but
Sylvan, okay.
I think it was...
I think you'd know that it's Elvish based on what he's saying. You pick up a couple of like Sylvan words, or like not words, but like vowels and that type of thing. And he kind of like stomps his foot at you.
I scurry faster.
Okay, you run past. He doesn't try to attack you. He's just trying to scare you off.
Yeah. I am scared.
But you do hear a voice from the office pipe up and say, "Oh, what's that, darling?" And he says something back in Elvish, and she's like, "Oh, yes, we'll be gone soon." And then just that's it.
I leave, and I will report back to the others. Skitter back toward the others, stop to investigate a pile of garbage, and then come back to the alley and underneath the cloak as I come up and pin it back around myself and to relay what I saw.
Yeah, you guys. I was about to say who's burial, but Sukara returns.
Is based like you're giving us that report, so I want to ask Matt if I, from the description, can make a history check on whether I recognize who those people are inside, if they're anybody important.
Give me a roll with disadvantage.
Okay. I got a natural 20, but then at disadvantage I get a 14.
Okay.
Plus 2, so it's 16.
Okay. They don't remind you of anyone of importance, First of all, that's the first thing you know. You're just like, yeah, they don't sound like anyone important in the city. The one thing that does ring true is that when Sukara tells you what they said, you ask them, you're like, wait a second, can you repeat that? And you're like, how did they say it? And you're like, okay, this lady is very well spoken, and that's something that multiple people have mentioned, is that they met with a very well spoken lady. I said with disadvantage because you didn't see them. You're getting secondhand information.
Absolutely.
But that's the information that the 2 points that you've connected there.
I
Not
will
that
mention
Sakara
that.
would do a bad job, but you know.
I mean, she probably does a bad job.
There was an elvish lady in there, and she was doing some writing. There was 2 elvish boys. One was sharpening
And then
his
they
swords,
said
and the other-
something, and then someone said something, and I think they said something about leaving soon, so that might be important. Might want to need to go do some storming the doors.
Are we storming the doors?
Well, the thing is,
I'm
we're
kicking
supposed
down
to
the
be.
door.
No, wait.
Too
Bobo Loco.
late.
I
Too
grab Bobo.
late.
I grab Bobo.
Okay. Give the athletics checks opposed.
How close are we to the
9.
9.
Oh, I was feeling disappointed. I rolled a 8, and then I get to add -1. So I got a 7.
I would say you're actually off the map, whether that's like on the south side or the west side. But yeah, you're basically on the corner. Well, this warehouse sits on a corner, and then yeah, there's a couple of like alleyways that run between buildings that you would be sitting in, kind of behind some like crates that have been discarded there or something along those lines.
Can I stick out a leg to trip Bobo as he runs by?
Okay, yeah. Last chance. You give me an athletics check as well versus Bobo's. Which do you want to roll again, or would you happy?
Oh, that's a bad roll.
Only a 5 for me.
Ooh.
14.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Bobo's like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna kick down the door. And what does Sakara do?
I just stick out the butt of my pike and go like, whoop, drove through Bobo's leg, so it's like a comedic pratfall.
We're going into that warehouse one way or the other, guys. May as well go in the front door.
Yes, but maybe we should wait because midnight is when the big honcho is supposed to be there. That sounds like the woman who is the go-between, not the woman who is behind it all.
Oh,
So we should
that's smart.
get one of these people to tail them as they leave to find out where they go, and then we can stay here for the midnight meeting. Or we can tail them as we go and they can stay here for the midnight meeting.
See, here I was thinking it was because taking people by surprise is more effective than not taking them by surprise.
But if we take them now by surprise, we'll be able to make plans for midnight.
Are we
If
sure
if
this
they
one
don't,
was not the head big person?
pretty sure.
Okay.
She doesn't have, I don't know who she is. I don't know how she'd have the money. It's possible that when she said she was the go-between to our compatriots, she was not telling the truth, and she really is the person who is behind it all. But either way, us sending somebody to follow her and find out where she lives and who she is isn't a bad idea. We know we have until midnight. We don't have anything to lose. They don't know we're onto them.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Guess I can get another nap.
Fine, I guess we'll wait till midnight.
She tucks down on a barrel, puts her feather over her eyes.
The three other members of the Queen's Pride just say, "Well, we'll keep watch if you want to get some rest. You've had a busy day."
We want you to chase after, to quietly follow after these people and find out where they go.
Right. Yeah, we can do that. If anyone leaves, we'll put a tail on them.
specifically, and then we describe the two people that we want tailed, the man and the woman. So, like, if another worker comes out, we're not as worried.
Okay.
There were two men. So.
Right. There was one that was the husband, and then the husband's twin, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they say, yeah, that's something we can do. We can handle that. Yeah, we can do that. I think, what do you reckon? 2 on a tail, and one of us stays here to report in. Help these guys out. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah. And they kind of like confer between themselves. I think the consensus is that unless you want all of them to go tailing them, they're gonna stay there to help out.
Okay. I mean, they can always go get more people from the. We've got enough time to go get other people from the nearest police box too, right?
Sure.
So maybe we should. Let's go get a few more reinforcements.
They'll be like plainclothes. Well, like they'll be police. They won't be Queen's Pride though.
Okay.
All right. So, who's got eyes on the warehouse?
We all have eyes on the warehouse. Are we watching the warehouse?
Who's actively watching it? Is my question.
I'll do
shifts. Yeah. Or
okay.
I mean,
the mastermind can do it.
I don't want the rest, so I don't want to take a shift. I mean, like, I want to take all the shifts, but if other people want to help and take shifts with me, that's fine. If they just want to leave it to me and they want to rest, that's cool too. Perception, I only got a 10.
Okay. So yeah, you're watching from your position. Oh, and the other thing is, if you're still trying to stay like kind of out of sight, hidden, I'll need some stealth checks as well.
I failed the stealth check.
What'd you get?
Critical fail.
Oh, okay. Okay. What is Bobo doing during
He's
this?
pacing back and forth in front of the warehouse, waiting for his chance to go inside.
Okay. Brian?
I got 25.
25? Okay. And Sukara?
Well, I take a nap for the first hour, but after that,
Okay.
I guess. Stealth is dirty 20.
Oh, okay.
Did you want a perception or just a stealth?
Well, in a second when you're actively watching it, but first of all, Porthos, you're watching it, and what was your perception roll again?
I think it was only like a 10.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're kind of getting a little bit anxious with Bobo pacing up and down. You're just like, come sit down and just wait. And Bobo's like, no, we got to go in. With like, what? I don't know what we're doing. Let's just go inside. And you're like kind of.
Herbs are in there, waiting to be busted. I've got an itchy trigger finger and an itchy punching hand. I'm sick of waiting around.
We should get you some sort of balm for that. BALM, not BOMB.
Sakara starts to little snores, but nothing too loud. But yeah, you don't notice anything. Eventually, Sakara, you wake up, and then
has it been an hour and nobody's come out yet?
Yeah.
I want to check the alleyway then.
Okay. Go for it. What? How would you like to do that?
Acrobatics over the wall,
Okay, sure.
or the fence, I should say.
I'll let that stealth check stand for now. You don't see any like windows on this side of the building.
Okay. So that's a 15 for the acrobatics, and I just want.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to do like walk the perimeter of it, looking for any sort of secret doors or,
Sure.
Cellar doors or anything that might be another exit.
So yeah, you kind of parkour like off the building opposite, and then jump up and kind of go sideways over it, and then land daintily in the mud. There's a little bit of a splash as it kicks up when you land, but otherwise it's fine. As you walk around the building, you don't see anything obvious that marks like, oh, this is definitely a door, or like some sort of cellar access. It looks like it's just an alleyway. But give me an investigation check. Okay.
Not a great roll. Only 8.
Okay. Yeah, it's there's nothing really back here. It's just kind of like a passage between this building and the ones that neighbor it. It doesn't really lead anywhere. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary either.
Okay. I'm gonna hang out back here. I'll spend a little more time back here while Bobo's pacing, because Bobo's pacing is making me uncomfortable.
Okay. And then yeah, whoever's watching next, give me a perception check.
Right, I'll do it. 10.
Okay.
We're really
You
insightful,
watch it.
guys.
Sorry? Yeah. You watch it for a little while as well, and nothing out of the ordinary. It's just a warehouse, and yeah, moths swim around, like float around the lit bulbs on the street, and a couple of people walk down, a little bit drunk, you suspect, maybe on the way to the next tavern or on the way home. That's about it. That's all you really notice.
Feeling.
And then one last check, unless you want to do something, and that'll probably take us up to 12.
Yeah, I rolled an 11.
Same sort of deal. It's the night's grown a little bit colder as night set in. Much less traffic on the streets now. There's almost no one around. The last person that went through was maybe like half an hour ago.
And from back here, is there anything I see?
All right. Give me another perception check or investigation, either or.
If I can take investigation, I'll take that. 17.
And are you still trying to be stealthy, or are you?
Yep.
Okay, give me just one more stealth check. As long as it's not a natural 1, I think it's okay.
Natural 20.
There you go. For a brief second, there's like a shadow above you, and you look up, but then there's nothing. And you're like, oh, it must have been a bird or owl, bat, something. It was very quick, though. It's like something just went above you from roof to roof.
I don't think that was a bird. I think that was a person. I've been waiting for somebody to come over the top.
It's Superman.
I don't know. The last guy tried to go out through the window.
There are no windows on this side either, is the other thing you'd notice, I should say. It's like this building has no outward-facing window.
Does it have a flat roof or a peaked roof?
It's peaked, but it's very, like, the angle isn't steep. It's, like, very shallow.
Can we see whether there's another entrance from the roof?
From your current angle, you cannot.
Well, from what I saw before.
There's nothing on the side facing you.
Okay.
No. That's what those perception checks were for, to see if you noticed anything around the building. But it wasn't going with that roll of investigation. It wasn't the direction they were going wasn't away. It was to the building.
What is it to climb? Is it athletics or acrobatics?
Well, I am in the school of, because I play more dexterous characters. I feel like if you have a dexterous character, you should be able to like parkour your way up the top. If you want to try and climb, that's also okay. You're going to be a little bit more sneaky with that. In fact, actually, you had a natural 20, so you should be able to get up the top, no worries. You're pretty sure.
All right. I want to do try and tic-tac my way up then.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check.
21.
Yeah, it's like a good 2 to 3 stories up, but you're like, the distance between the two buildings isn't that much, and you're like, I can do this, and you just kind of like kick. You find a junction like where there's like a sport beam going up, so you land on it and then kick off that, and then kick off the other building, and you get onto the roof. And up here you land on the roof and look around, and from where you are, you can't actually see the alleyway where your friends are. For a brief second, you do see Bobo just kind of like pacing and then paces back, but that's about it. But yeah, there is a trapdoor up here that leads inside.
Okay. I want to write a note on a piece of paper and then paper airplane it down to Bobo.
Okay.
And it says, this is Quarthus. I'm on the roof. There's a trapdoor up here. I think somebody went in.
I'm kicking the door down.
I need to know.
And there's no one here to stop me.
I think this is a improvised dart weapon that you're throwing, so I guess it's like a dexterity attack to try and hit Bobo with it.
Oh, maybe I can do my...
It goes... I rolled a 2, so it probably is going right into the window of the building, but then it doesn't have any windows, so it bounces off the wall and that falls down on my side of the alleyway.
All right, Bobo, give me a quick perception check.
Winning.
Okay, yeah. For a split second, you see Quarthus pop up and throw a paper airplane in your direction, and it kind of goes like straight down into the front area.
I take that as a sign, and I kick the door down. That is now the third time that I've tried to kick this door down.
Nodding off a little bit as being on watch is very boring, and go, oh, we're doing this. Okay.
You get nudged awake as Bobo kind of like starts to walk. The three other Queen's Pride members are like, all right, it's time to go. And Bobo, you just kind of start storming. Quarthus, you see Bobo storming to that front gate with determination.
I'm going to the roof, and I'm sitting at the like checking out the trapdoor, looking for and listening at the trapdoor.
Okay. So there were 2 entrances on the ground, right?
Yeah. There's okay. So there's like that wooden like gated area. So there's an entrance to get into that little front area where they keep the horses, and then there's like another set of double doors where they take the carts through, and then on the north side there is like a single door used for like humanoid access. So you could use either or.
I am going to use the entrance that is not taken.
That's not
Since
taken?
I don't think it is the front of the... Yeah. So Bobo is going in through the front doors. And Porthos is apparently up top. So
which door is Porthos? Which door is Bobo going through?
The front one?
There's kind of 2 sets of front doors, as I just described.
Whichever one is closest to me.
Okay.
The big double doors?
Super helpful.
Like, you mean the ones that they normally take the horses through? Or the ones they take the people through?
I'll kick down the big doors.
That feels like a Bobo Loco move.
Right.
I'll tell the others, the other guardsmen, back up, Bobo. I'll take the back.
Okay. Like, just kind of like tug at their non-existent hats, and they follow you in. The front gate into that area is locked. Do you kick that one down? You do.
Oh yeah.
All right. So these things are happening at the same time, Brian. Just so you know. So you will have like a second to react, like to do like a round or two to do things before things kind of go sideways. So yeah, it's a pretty simple lock. It's just like wood. Give me a unarmed attack roll.
And strike.
Sure.
10.
Okay. Do you remember what the AC for wooden doors is off the top of your head, Brian? Anyone?
Oh, I think I have a bookmarked. Wait, what was that, Priscilla? You had thought?
I was gonna say I would have a hard time believing it's more than 10, but maybe.
Wood AC 15.
Oh wow. Okay. So you hit it, but maybe it's like you just don't hit it hard enough or in the right spot, and you hear
And
just
I
like
do
rattle
my
on its hinges.
flurry of blows.
Okay.
Flurry of
That's
Bobo
even
Locos.
worse. 7. I'm just furiously punching this door. I'll get it down.
You're basically doing the open up, please.
Yeah.
But you're actually trying to kick it open.
Okay. Do you want to check the trapdoor for traps? What this?
I want to investigate it and see what I see.
Okay, go for it.
17?
17? Yeah. You kind of look around it and you think that, yes, at some point it was trapped, but it has been disarmed.
Okay.
And it looks like it drops down into the office space. So it's like kind of like up in the north side of the building.
Okay. I want to listen to, and while I'm doing that, I want to listen to what I'm hearing people's reaction to all of the commotion at the door is.
All right. Perception check. For me.
12.
12. You can hear some voices inside talking about some stuff. They just, it's like, she should be here shortly. I believe she's come to collect her, what she's owed, what she's due, and we can do it then. And you like someone say something back in Elvish, and you speak Elvish? No, one of you does, I know that. Okay.
Yeah, I speak Elvish.
So the well-spoken woman is speaking in Common, but there is like an Elvish voice responding in Elvish. And they say, well, perhaps we should just end her. One less complication down the line. My spies report that she might have been captured. No one has seen her. No one knows where she is. They might have her up in their headquarters right now. We would have heard something. I believe the Queen's pride is not very... And then you hear this like from the front door. And everyone just kind of stops speaking. And the Elvish voice just goes, what was that? And, the well-spoken lady just kind of says, I think we have visitors. And scraping of wood as a chair is pushed back. And for brevity's sake, you kick the door in. It swings open as you do so. Bobo Loco. And you charge up to the other one and kick that one in as well. Because you're a monk, you should be able to just kick it in, it's fine. Whatever. At this point, the other Queen's Pride members have got their pistols out in one hand and rapiers in the other, and they're following behind you. They're staying close, but at a little bit of a distance. And Sukara, you're going in that northern entrance, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Move you over, so there. Okay. Just gonna roll. Yep. Some things. Yep. Okay. You both of you enter the premises and look inside, and you don't see. You see a warehouse. You don't see anybody in particular But the northern door of the office opens, and this elvish woman walks out. And she say, "There's something to you." Hold on. She says, "Oh, welcome. I'm afraid you've caught me out of office hours. We're open between 8 and 4. It's a little bit late. Perhaps you should come back in the morning." Kind of like looks at you, scrutinizing you. What would you like to do?
I assume this is to Boba.
I mean, to kind of like to everyone that's inside.
I just realized I'm not looking at the map because I'm dropping it wrong. Oh, that was the northern door. Okay. I thought for some reason there was another one.
I'm gonna point my gun at her and say, "Get on the ground, put your hands in the air."
I wouldn't do that, my dear.
I'm gonna shoot at her. But like not to hit her, just to scare her.
Okay. Give me an attack roll to miss.
To miss?
Yeah.
A skillful miss? A 22.
Okay. You fire the gun and it flies like kind of like and hits the wall behind her, and she just doesn't even flinch. Kind of like moves her head. She's like, "Oh, I wish you hadn't have done that. You could have left and everything would have been fine, but
Next time, I'm gonna aim to hit."
it's good to know. That's very nice thank you for warning me." And as she starts to speak, you see her visage starts to change. She kind of goes like a little bit Galadriel, negative, and like something's happening there, and her hair like kind of grows a little bit longer and flows out and looks like it's underwater.
I want to shoot her.
I
don't think
make an attack roll.
Let me see if there's actually blue.
Shapeshifter attacking shapeshifter.
So it's probably a bit disadvantaged because it's well outside of the 30-foot pistol range. Oh, one of them was a 20.
Oh no.
But 13.
Okay. 13 you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As she finishes transforming, you see this like kind of this like an elvish woman still, but her hair is longer. Same sort of features. Robes are distinctly more elvish, and they kind of look like they're flowing on some sort of unseen breeze. It looks like you were gonna hit, but at the last moment, it kind of just like deflects around her and strikes the back wall behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of looks at you and it's like, really? And then like throws a spell at you. So, can you make a dex saving throw for me, please?
That was a 1.
1? Okay. You take... Jeez, okay, that's terrible. 2 points of radiant damage as this purple flame just like burns up you and is gone in an instant. But yeah, let's roll initiative.
Kind of blink at the little that spatters with the scale and go, "Is that it?"
It should have been more badass, I know, but
Yeah.
this is where we're at. It's fine.
That's okay. I couldn't kick a door down.
That time skip was really to cover like the 20 minutes it took to kick the door down, splinter by splinter.
Just hammering away at it.
Yeah.
I already got this
She had time to,
goddamn
like-
door open if it kills me.
She had time to get some tea, sit down for a bit.
Yeah, just sipping on that.
Initiative 19.
Right.
Is the difference between the floor and the second floor?
Sorry?
How tall is the floor difference between the ground floor?
Oh, probably about, yeah, like it's like another story up. So like, what's that? Like 10 feet ish?
15, maybe? 15, 20?
15.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty tall because they've got like boxes stacked underneath. But the other thing is there are like boxes and crates and stuff in front of it that you could potentially like kind of like hop up onto to get up there if you can see paths to get up there is what I'm trying to say.
And there's a railing as well?
Yeah, there's a railing that kind of runs the length of the outside with the exception of where the that crank is.
Mm-hmm.
20, Queen's Guard. Oh, okay. Yeah. So sorry, what did Porthos roll?
11.
11. And Sakara?
19.
19. Alright. Bobo Loco did pretty good as well.
Ready? He's ready for and raring for a fight.
He's been ready for like several hours at this point.
He's been ready for several days.
Well, it's only been a day of stuff.
Well, his secret is he's always ready for a fight.
I don't think that's a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is known. It is known.
Okay. So before we get started, I want to show you the artwork. So yeah, you see this well-dressed woman with these like little glasses perched on her nose, dressed quite demurely. And as she speaks, you see a transformation take place, and she turns into this kind of...
Like, that's not suspicious at all.
Not at all. No, they're bad
Anyone
when they
who's
go-
like pretending to be a nice old lady and then turns into an evil witch.
Oh yeah, and then the roided out Legolas guys look like that. Like if Legolas had some gains
For boys.
and dyed his hair brown. There you go.
Hair had some gains too.
Yeah, well, he let it down a bit, you know. But they look almost identical, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, you see, as she throws that spell at you, you see them kind of pop up from behind some crates. And yeah, top of the order, it's Bobo Loco.
All right. How do I get up? There's stairs. Here we go.
The stairs on the north, stairs in the south. There are crates and barrels and stuff that you could definitely jump up on to get up there too.
I think I'm probably too small to be like trying to parkour up there. So I'm just going to do the old-fashioned thing.
Yeah, you're a monk, and also I don't want to be sizist, so...
And
Get one of the guards to throw you. Fastball special you.
Give me a perception check when you get to the top of the stairs there.
well, I can't make it all the way to the top of the stairs, but I was going to shoot at one of these guys again. So I'm going to run and shoot. Run and shoot. So it's sort of simultaneously.
Okay. But give me a perception roll real quick.
That's 7.
Okay. Yeah, that's you don't
I
notice
noticed
anything.
nothing. I'm shooting.
The two very attractive elvish men with
Okay,
the two blades pop up from behind things. Scary lady is up here. That's it.
Okay, I guess I'll try and shoot at this guy.
Okay.
$11?
You fire, and as you do, he kind of just like steps aside and
Sneaky. I was running and shooting, so it's not a great shot.
and at that he kind of like turns his sword around and he's like holding them like back to back, like blades running down his arm instead. Okay, so that's your turn. Now it's the Queen's Guard. They're going to, because they're here in more of a backup sort of capacity. One's going to take cover behind the door. The one's going to take cover here. One's going to go and just like run up and take cover down there.
More morale cheerleaders.
That one's going to fire at the well-spoken woman. But yeah, it just, you see it as it's flowing. The bullet's fired and its arc just is going to hit her, but then like at the last minute seems to pass around her. And then they kind of duck back down and start to reload their weapon. These two at the bottom are going to fire up at those beautiful boys. Is it 60? Ooh, they're just in. And they're in partial cover is the other thing. First attack is... hold on. Gotta get the stats up. I've had them up earlier. Okay.
Going to do a sound.
Sorry?
I was going to do a sound effect for my character dropping down here, and then I was like, oh, I want to be silent as I drop, so I'm going to write the word silence as my sound effect.
How much damage does a pistol deal? Can anyone tell me?
I got 1d12. Plus
Pistol does
1d10.
1d12? You sure that's not a musket?
1d10.
Yeah, the musket.
1d10 for the pistol.
Oh, do I have
What's the
wrong
average of
thing?
that? That's going to be average of 1d10 is
Or
5,
6.
right? That was
Yes.
6.
I think it's usually 6 for a hit point. But
Okay. So one of them takes a hit. The other one also takes a hit, even though they're in cover. You see them just like take it in the shoulder, one in the chest. They don't have much armor on, or much in the way of armor on. And then they all duck into cover and start to reload their weapons. Sukara, you're up.
okay. And I'm going to skip over to thing. Leap up into the edge of the crate, and then if I can, at this distance, there's a horizontal distance of 30 feet. But given as she's up on the 6th floor, it might not be enough.
Sorry, I can't really hear you. What do you?
It might not be within distance. So it's a horizontal range of 30 feet. But
Oh
given
right,
she's
are you
up on
going to
the
do
second floor,
the jump?
thorn
Get
whip?
it?
No, I want to do a thorn whip.
Oh right. Yeah, that can work. Let's do it. Is it a dex save on her behalf or?
That is an attack roll for me.
Okay.
So I throw out a hand, and this sort of reddish green wisp of energy coils out around and whips towards her. And that is a 15 to hit.
15. That hits.
So it does 4 damage, and she gets yanked 10 feet closer to me. Oh.
Okay. Sorry, how much damage was it?
4.
4.
Yeah, piercing.
She comes 10 feet towards you.
Mm-hmm.
You see she's getting ready to cast another spell, and as she lifts the hand, the thorn whip just kind of like wraps around her arm, and she just her head swivels towards you straight away, and she just is anger in her eyes. There's fire burning from an unknown source, and you're just like, huh? And she's head over heels over the railing, and then on the ground. D6 per 10 feet, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I rolled a 5 on a D6, which isn't too bad.
Woo.
And you hear her just like she really hits the floor.
And it
She
depends.
takes falling damage?
That's what
She
the D6.
just fell 10 feet
Oh.
from the second floor to the first. Sorry.
But the question is, like, what's the warehouse full of? If it's full of, like, shuriken or something, she might take extra damage.
It's a warehouse full of needles.
They just like seeded it with D4s on the ground, so
It's not caltrops, D4s
yeah,
specifically.
specifically. And then seeing that, I throw back my head and go, ha ha ha! And rage.
Okay, nice. Alright, you enter into a rage. Then it is her turn. She's kind of like there on the ground on her back. She's gonna like open her eyes. Just let her, you are making me very upset. And she'll use half her movement to stand up. And what will she do? She will cast Spiritual Weapon. No, she's going to cast Spirit Guardians.
What do they look like?
Okay, so you see Elvish Warriors of old, like off the legend, kind of like spring to life around her. In a 15-foot radius. Oh my goodness. That's pretty damn close. But yeah, they're just kind of like floating around her. They all wield like double-edged blades or like blades on the end of long poles, and they're all curved and crazy looking. Stuff that people don't use nowadays for sure. It's 15 foot. Okay. Alright. Just outside, but that's okay. Because she's gonna...
Gonna enter it soon, I'm sure.
Sorry?
I'm gonna enter her radius soon, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna stand up and be like, oh, you will regret that! And then just take 2 steps towards you. And what happens with Spirit Guardians? Okay, so your speed is halved. Oh wow, okay. Wisdom saving throw.
18.
18, okay. Yeah, I believe you succeed. Yeah, you succeed. But I think, do you take half? Who's played a cleric before? Half as much damage. Yeah, you do. Okay. So 4 and 12. So 6 points of radiant damage as these things start to flit about you, and you're like blocking and attacking and dodging. But you take a few nicks and cuts as they go past. But again, that'll get halved down to 3 because you're raging, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's only from non-magical sources, right?
Right. Sorry. So it is still
Bludgeoning, yeah, bludgeoning 15.
yes, of course.
So it's 6.
That is concentration, so I'll have to keep that in mind. So yeah, you take 6 points of radiant damage. Then Quarthus, it is your turn.
I would like to stealthily drop down into the office.
Okay. Just give me a dex check.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh, okay.
So there's a big thud from that room.
Yeah, you open the thing up and like jump in because you can hear the fight has started, and you're like, all right, I'm ready. And as you land, you look up, and right before you is a familiar looking person. Well, not like it's not the same person, but they're dressed in similar garb. It's another assassin similar to the one you fought earlier.
That's what I was going to go down and look for, quietly and silently. So I found them.
And they're right next to you when you land. They just kind of cock their head at you, and then like with their double edge, like the great sword, they start to swipe at you. But it's not quite their turn yet.
They didn't have a readied action?
No, they rolled lower on the initiative than you. So,
all right.
But you know what? Nat 1, I don't know. I think you're going to take some damage because you just fell. So 4 points of falling damage.
Okay.
And you're currently prone.
Can I get up and finish my attack? I mean, I was just dropping down.
Yep. Go for it.
Oof. Really woofed that. Yeah, no, that's not going to hit. I got an 8.
Okay, yeah. They're just ready for you. You kind of like start to attack as you're starting to rise, and they're just like parrying you and everything. They're very skilled swords person. But that's your turn. Then it is the very beautiful boys' turns. They are going to... What are they going? So... Okay,
I'm erasing the silence sound effect, and I'm going to replace it with a kathud.
This one up here is going to... He's going to like kind of put away his blades and then take out a crossbow and then like aim down at some of those Queen Pride members and fire.
Wait, me? At me?
No. The one above you did something, but he's kind of like run up and then like twirled his blades and just like is standing there. The other one is just kind of popped up and like fired from the crossbow, but it just like hits the wall next to where they're standing. Then he kind of ducks back down and begins to reload. But Quarthus, you're going to get some attacks on you from Mr. Assassin.
My armor class is 15.
Just a sec to get the stats. I have them right here. Okay, so there's going to be 2 attacks on you from the sword. First one is a 3, 7 total, so that doesn't hit. The second one is going to be 12 total.
Nice. We're both inept.
Yeah, I think he was just too surprised by your sudden arrival. Okay, and then Bobo Loco, you are up again.
All right. Well, I'm going to close the distance between me and this fella.
Okay. He took the dodge action, so you have to roll with disadvantage, I believe.
Okay.
So that works, right? Never actually used it myself.
I don't know.
I think that's correct.
And yeah, I will turn the pistol around and try and bludgeon him with it.
All right. Give me an attack roll.
12?
12 to hit?
Yeah.
I think that misses. Yeah, that misses.
Okay. I'll use my bonus action to use a key point to use my flurry of blows against him. Is he still dodging, or did he only dodge that one?
I think it's the rest of the round, right? Is that how it works? Okay. Thank you, fellow D&D DM players.
I mean, I could be wrong
18.
too.
18. That hits. Let's just say that's what it is for now, because no one really knows it.
And that's 6 damage.
6 damage, okay. Okay. Yeah, you kind of just... he's dodging out of the way and swinging his blades, trying to like throw you off the scent, like where he's going to be next, and you just kind of wait until he's... you feint and then come back in with like an uppercut, and you just like get him like under the ribs, and you drive the wind from his lungs. And you see he just looks down at you and says, anything else? Spend some of them key points.
What's that?
Did you want to spend any of them key points?
Well, I just did to do the flurry of blows. Yeah, so that's it. I'm done.
Right. Then it is your allies' turns. This one will run up here and fire up at that boy. Oh my god. You see part of the handrail just kind of explodes and splinters and showers him, and she's going to duck down and begin to reload her weapon. This one up here is going to fire up at another guy.
I like to imagine that our other person supposed to be showing up at midnight is going to show up right the last minute after we've already lost or won.
After everything's said and done, yeah. Yeah, again, it hits the wall behind them, and then she was going to duck down and start to reload, and then this one's going to
I'll be right back.
and fire at me. Oh my god, none of them can hit a thing. They are rolling so badly.
I mean, what would they be? Lion troopers? Pride troopers?
Cubs. The Cubs.
Yeah.
Well,
Instead of stormtroopers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
although I don't know if the Cubs might work if you're talking baseball jokes.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know much about baseball, but I know the Cubs are a team. So baseball jokes. So I used to work at a baseball-themed brewery as well.
Sports.
So, okay, that's there goes. They're just going to stay put and reload. Then Sukara, it is your turn again.
Okay. I kind of slaver in her face, and when you see brown fur her sprouting out, and she shoulders up and hulks out into a bear.
Nice.
And
Again,
then
I don't
she's
have a
going
bear
to-
token for you. I'm sorry.
Can you make me large? wanna
Yeah, I
be
can do
big.
that. Which way do you want to? Well, you can move yourself. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then I swipe and bite at her. So
All right. Give me some attack rolls.
oh man, I have to actually do this manually. The downside of Drew is that I have seen others deal with, but I have not actually had to do much myself yet. The fucking worm. So the bite is a 16 to hit.
Oh, that hits. Yeah.
Okay. So 8 piercing damage. And then
8. Wow. Okay.
Claw is a natural 20.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be. Oh, and I have, since I'm raging, that's actually a +2. So it was 10 on the first bite. And
Okay.
then 4d6 plus 6. So. 21 points of damage.
21.
Slash the claw.
She's going to make a Constitution check to see if the Spirit Guardian stays up. She rolled. Save. That's a 15, but that's less than the damage she took, so I think that fails, right?
It's half the damage.
Half the damage?
The DC is 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher.
Which, if it was 21, it would be 10 anyway, right?
I think it's 11. Usually
11.
whichever is worse for the person.
Okay. Well, okay, she rolled a 15, so I guess that passes. The Spirit Guardian
Yeah,
stays
yeah,
up.
Either way.
You rip her arm
Did
off.
you do one for the bite as well?
Oh, yeah, okay.
How did she keep a spell and then her arm got ripped off?
Yeah.
Jesus.
You
Iron
just
Will
rip her
lady.
arm off. And she lets out a scream because she fails the second one. So that you see the Spirit Guardians, they go in for an attack at you, and they're like like swells its blade around, is coming down for an attack. It's like face all mad and angry and ugly, and you're like bracing for it, but it just like fades out as the spell drops. Yeah, but she's missing an arm because that's pretty cool. You just like worry her arm so hard, you just
Yeah.
rip it off. She looks,
It hits the poor guy taking shelter behind the wagon.
yeah. You see like blood just like spray everywhere, and as you like kind of look that way as you throw the arm away, she kind of looks up at you and is like finishes loading her weapon. Like, oh my god, who is this?
That is it
Yeah.
for me.
That's pretty good. She looks extremely damaged and hurt. But it is her turn. So what she's going to do is with her free arm, she's going to like slap it against the stump that you've like just created, and you see her arm just begins to like heal up.
Oh dear.
Oh, okay, she rolled pretty good. Where is it? Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, you see her arm's still missing, but she regains a bit of that color to her face, and heals up a bit, and is no longer dripping, spraying blood everywhere. Like, but that is her action. She's going to say, "Take down this bear!" Like screaming back over her shoulder at her compatriots. And she's not going to try and move out of effective range. Quartus, your turn.
Great. I'm going to attack. Just straight up regular attack.
Okay.
I'm going to miss.
Oh no.
I rolled terribly. Not a
Do you
1.
get 2 attacks at all?
No.
Wait, do you have insightful fighting or something?
I can give somebody else advantage.
Not yourself?
Oh, I thought you could roll an investigation check against them to see if there's like any openings or anything like that. Give yourself advantage on the roll. No?
I'll double check that.
All right. If you do, we can come back to it. But look that up. I'm going to keep the momentum going. But yeah, we can just do like a retroactive attack because you're kind of in a separate situation by yourself.
Yeah. No, I can't do that. Doesn't look like it.
Okay. All right. It might be a feat or something then. Bobo, you're going to get 2 attacks with these short swords against you.
Do this.
He's just going to do like unnecessary flourish with both of them. And like kind of like go for your head, but you duck under it, and then he's going to kind of like come up the middle with the other one. So he misses. I think he misses with the first one. 12 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay, and then the second one is a 17 though.
That's a hit.
Okay, so you take 5 points of piercing damage. As the second one kind of like cuts like up the middle and catches you, but you like jump back, so it's not like a full like dissection. This guy's very tricky. And then the other guy is going to lean over and shoot at the giant bear that just erupted in the middle of the room. And he gets... what did he get? A 13 to hit. That hit?
Does not. My AC
Okay.
is 14.
Alright, yeah, it... you feel it just kind of like pass through your fur. And if you were like just like your head was like an inch higher, it might have hit, but it missed. And then he's going to duck it back down and start to reload. And then, yeah, Quarthus, you're going to get a couple more attacks. He's going to like kind of move around the side here. And oh, okay, these are pretty good. So apologies in advance. First one is a 17. Okay, so the second one's going to hit as well because that's a dirty 20. So 10 points of piercing damage total.
All right.
He makes a flourish with the sword and then comes back around.
I'm going to gracefully go instead of screaming.
Like a true cool rogue.
Yeah. And then Bobo Loco.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna take out my short sword actually. And I was like, oh, it's a sword fight you want, eh? Have at thee. And I'm gonna hit him with my 21 to hit.
21 hits.
And then that's 9 damage.
9. Okay.
I just like stabbed him in the crotch.
I mean, you're at the right height. Is that? Let me just clarify. Do you want to kill this guy by stabbing him? Because that's what's going to happen. You've done enough damage to kill him.
I'm not trying to kill him. Non-lethal crotch stabbing.
Wait, hold on. No, because you're using your fists, right? You can't.
No, I pulled out my short sword.
Oh, right. Okay. I don't know if you can do non-lethal sword damage.
Yeah, with the pommel.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I hit him in the balls with the pommel.
So you and it's just like he's like, you see him. He drops his swords. Hands go to his crotch. His eyes just go crossed as he lets out a.
Don't think he'll be having any kids.
And then he just like falls to the ground and is no longer moving.
Great. And then I'm
all intents
going
and purposes out of the fight, but he's not dead.
Great. I'm going to make my way over toward this guy. I'm going to jump up on these boxes. Sword in one hand, pistol in the other,
Okay.
and say, "You're next."
He's going to be like ducked behind there finishing his reload and look up at you and, with an eyebrow cocked.
And then he sees his friend on the floor, like, clutching his nether region.
Okay. It's your comrades' turns. They're going to make more attacks. 2 are going to be against the well-spoken lady. One's a nat 20. The other one is not going to hit, though. So, okay. So 11 points of piercing damage. Dang. Okay. Well,
Just getting
she
wailed
just
on.
healed herself. As this bullet just catches her across the throat, and you see it just like, and blood splatters against the crate. And she drops to a knee with the free hand. She's trying to hold it closed, and it's just like coughing up blood and all sorts of stuff. She's down, and we'll be rolling some saves next turn. And then one is going to be against the handsome boy, which is going to hit. So as you jump up on top of those crates and you kind of go, "Ah, you're next!" This bullet just goes and catches him.
The handsome boy?
Yep. For 6 points, and you see his shoulder just kind of like buckle a bit. And he reaches up his hand to like grab it, but he still looks capable of dealing damage. Sukara, your turn again.
Okay. As the woman collapses on the ground in front of me, she no longer registers as a threat, and I'm not really in the frame of mind to be like, "Oh no, we'd better keep her alive." So turn my attention to my little beady bear eyes, and I go, and I focus on this guy up here.
Yeah,
And
you
I
can see
try to
one
just-
other enemy in this vicinity, and you can hear some noises coming from that office.
Okay. I'm going to start rampaging over this way. Can I get up onto this thing and then try and get up here?
Sure. Give me an athletics check. Because I think that makes more sense as a bear.
Yo. 17.
17? Okay. Yeah, you pull yourself up onto the thing. You kind of like run around the crates, kind of leap up a little bit, what's the word, lankily, and then pull yourself up as you reach up and you see the guy in front of you. Boba Loku's on top of the crates, just like kind of laughing maniacally, holding a pistol and a short sword. What would you like to do?
Was that my action? Or just my move?
It's your movement, I think.
Okay. I'm going to bite and claw.
Okay.
So that is a dirty 20 and a 24.
Nice, yeah, that hits.
And what is... So 7 piercing
Okay.
damage for the bite.
Okay. Well, that's enough.
Okay.
Do you have a description for how this guy dies?
I basically just like slam my paws onto his shoulder and put my head down on his head.
Just you hear it
Yeah.
crunch. And Boba, you watch as this giant bear kind of like jumps up, just and bites this guy's head.
I vomited my mouth a little bit.
The beer foam from earlier just still sitting there. He kicks his legs a bit and then just stops moving.
I should fully onto the thing.
It's her turn. Okay, she's okay. Porthos, you hear the sounds of battle outside starting to die down.
Is this the door? Am I like one space away from the door here?
Yeah, there's a door there, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to move that space. That doesn't provoke, right?
No, because you're
Then
still
I'm good.
within range, yeah.
I'm going to use my movement to open the door. And I'm going to say, little help up here. And then I'm going to attack again.
Okay.
Rolled a 6, so plus whatever that is not going to be enough. It's an
Get you a
11.
dice jail. We get you a dice jail to put your dice in. I'm so sorry. Oh dear.
It's okay. I did good at the parkour stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's what counts.
Yeah. The fighting is their area.
Okay, then it's the handsome boys who are both gone, and then it's Spy turn. He's kind of weigh up his options. Gonna see you call out for help. Hear a loud thud as a bear lands upstairs, and then a crunch as you bite down on that guy's head. And then what's he gonna do? He's gonna run. He's gonna go. Perhaps not, and just disengage, and then try and jump up one of the desks, and then leap up for the trapdoor on the roof. So, dexterity check. He didn't roll high enough to jump through it. Give me a second. I just have to look up what he. Yeah, so he's like jumped up and he's like holding on, but he hasn't quite gotten out of the doorway.
Perfect crotch stabbing height.
No.
His legs are going to get eaten by a bear.
I think you go before me though, so yeah, first dibs.
I want to fire hose him down to the ground while he's hanging on. My trunk can go up like a periscope and shoot down on his legs.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll see. It's not my turn.
All right. Bobo Loco, though. You're up.
All right, I'm going to shout down to my compadres down here. Secure the whatever
You
the
see them
word
kind of
is.
like nod up at you as they stand and begin to run in the direction of the
And then-
fallen woman.
Yeah, I will head in here.
Okay.
I can make it all the way to him. And I'm just going to hit him with my short sword again.
Okay.
Whether or not it's lethal, because we'll find out.
All right, give me an attack roll.
Oh, only a 10.
Okay, yeah, that misses. You go to swipe and he just lifts his legs up and it just flies underneath him.
Okay, well, I'll use my another key point and do a flurry of blows.
Okay.
Ooh, 22.
22 hits.
And that is 7 damage.
Okay.
I punch him in the butt.
He's going to have a bruise there. Alright, that's the Queen's Prize. 5, 10, 15, 30. Okay, so they run up, and only one of them's going to get to do a medicine check. Rolls a 16 plus stuff, so that's okay. And I think she is stabilized, but is still down. I'm going to put a little cross sign on her so we know that she's out and unconscious, but is breathing. Then it's Sukara.
Oh. Can I actually fit in this office?
Yeah,
You start tearing doors.
That's the thing. You kind of like go to move in, and your shoulders catch, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep ramming until I see if we can get through.
give me a strength check.
Okay.
Or athletics check, whichever. I think athletics are okay for you because you've got advantage on them, right? Because you're raging and all that.
Oh, that's right. Strength. I think it is actual. Yeah, strength checks and saving throws. So cool. 19.
19. Yeah, you kind of just like bust through it. Like the
Kool-Aid man.
I was gonna say I have an inside joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with a group of friends because I couldn't remember Kool-Aid Man. I called him Jug of Juice Guy. So you jug a juice guy on the wall as you bust through.
I had a
I'm not
cartoon.
sure how far.
Sorry, bro.
I had a cartoon of like a couple of workers building a wall. I'm like, oh, that was so hard building that wall. Time for a nice, refreshing glass of Kool-Aid. Like those walls. That's so.
It's such a. I don't know why it's so funny, but it's so absurd. But anyway, yeah. So you kind of lumber your way through here. Overlook is standing on a desk.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to move through here.
If I can, is it possible to barrel through and make a shove attack to make this guy go prone?
To dislodge him? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like athletics, like what's the word? Contested athletics.
Yeah, I want to say.
He rolled okay. He got a 17, but that's it.
Ooh, I did not roll well. 16.
You have advantage.
You have advantage though.
Yeah, that's with advantage.
Oh, okay.
This guy is
that's
somehow
so
gonna
close.
get away.
Yeah, you kind of hit him, and you see him go to the side, but he's still hanging on. One hand comes down, but it just comes back up. So close.
Oh, I can actually make multiple attacks with the bear. So can I try again?
Yeah, go for it.
Because it only replaces the multiple attacks. So I'm going to try again, and that is 19 this time.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. 5.
And I come around with the other paw and bat at him while he only has one hand on. It's like pinata. It's assassin pinata.
So you knock him down. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see him. He's trying to pull himself up after that hit, and you just kind of turn around and just bat him, and he just flies across to the back wall, hits the wall, and drops to the ground.
I don't know where to put myself.
Kind of prone, he just hits the ground, then drops onto his butt, and he's left sitting
And his
there.
butt is bruised as well.
Yeah, you hear him. He winces very hardly as he
The
lands.
second bruised butt of the evening.
Yep, nothing but bruises on that butt.
After he lands, I'm gonna shove my way further into the office and sit amid the ruins of the desk.
Sorry.
I just shove my way further into the office and then squeeze myself in between the desks.
Okay. So Quarthus, you're up.
Well, if he's prone, I've got advantage, so I'm going to go over and finally try to attack someone here. I think this might actually finally hit.
12's the magic number for this guy.
Yeah, so I rolled a 15 plus 5. So yeah, I rolled above a 6, which is good.
You hadn't rolled a 12.
I hadn't rolled a 12. I rolled like a 2, a 4, and a 6, I think. So yeah, the 15 will do it. So I should hit, and I should get sneak attack, right?
Yeah, I think because you've got allies nearby and stuff, right? Is that?
I don't know. Like he's prone.
Oh yeah, because you had advantage on the attack, of course. Yeah, sorry.
And I forget what my bonus is. 2d6. Okay. 21.
21 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you want to end this guy's life? That's my version of how do you want to do this. How do you want to end this person's life?
I would like to I don't know if I can't do non-lethal damage on him.
Well, I guess he could if you wanted to. It's up to you.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're supposed to be, bringing these people in for questioning and all that. So I'm going to use, because I've got that sneak attack, I'm going to use like a fist or something, like, or the pommel of the rapier to hit like a pressure point or something, like the sneak attack, and just like knock them out, Vulcan death pinch them.
Yeah. So I think as he like hits the wall and lands on his behind again, he kind of like reaches for his sword, but looks up as he sees the shadow loom over him, and you just kind of like punch down to the pommel of your thing and lights out. He's unconscious. But yeah, well done, everyone. You successfully cleared the warehouse of all the elves, people that were inside. They all seem to be elvish. Wonder what's up with that.
Now we find out. Now we find out the truth.
Yeah. So you quickly clean up the crime scene. It's cordoned off. You have like local people arrive within a couple of minutes. As you're sitting there, it finally, it's not quite midnight by the time they arrive because you went in a little bit early. But Darius arrives like, oh, I see you've already taken care of business. Didn't need me in the end, I suppose. Well, that's all right. Well, next time.
I appreciate your help.
Oh, of course. Anything I can do? You see, she's dressed in the get-up, but now that she doesn't need to be, we'll swap out of it, so she can assist with collecting evidence and that sort of stuff. So I just want to check, Caitlin, are you okay for a wrap up? I know it's just hit 10 o'clock.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I'll try to be quick. So over the next couple of days, a few things happen. These people are interrogated. Commander Amanda will fill you in on any of the details that they find out because it's part of your investigation and that sort of thing. The spy you took out in the office had some kind of pill on him that he used to commit suicide, and they didn't get any information out of him. And the woman that is now missing an arm has been very uncooperative, but interrogations are continuing to proceed. They can't place who they are or where they're from, and no one in the Elvish Quarter is giving like any help whatsoever. The ambassador from the Elvish Empire has been asked several questions, but they're denying all knowledge, essentially. But Commander Amanda says our best intelligence suggests that this was some kind of Elvish attack with the intention of causing a disruption between Orcish and relationships with the Orcish Empire, or the nation of orcs to the west. But we have no conclusive proof. It's just intelligence is telling us that. But we'll fill you in on any information as it comes more available. But that's kind of like where they suspect that's the attack came from and why it took place and all that sort of thing. But they can't quite prove it, and that's more or less like that wraps up that sort of aspect of it. All they know is that everyone involved was an Elvish, someone of Elvish descent, or was is from the Elvish Empire, and they tried to assassinate our queen, but missed and got the Orcish ambassador instead.
But we do know that.
Fuck up.
Sorry?
We hit our own, that would be a mess up. We hit our own ambassador.
Well, then they actually think that the card was a misdirection, that the target all along was meant to be the Orcish ambassador, but they have no way to prove that because the woman in custody is not talking.
Now,
so, question.
What about the fact that it's an old school elf who has like old weapons and their spiritual weapon? Like that doesn't give us any clues as to like whether there's like.
Well, yeah, they say we have like no proof of who she is or where she's from. No one seems to know who she is, but we suspect that like they're playing tight-lipped on purpose. They play the long game. The elves, they don't they live for centuries, so they don't need to be as quick with decisions as we need to be, I suppose. So the reason that they've employed this woman to do it, or if they've even done that, we don't know.
I just meant like you would know like, oh, she's from the old school elves, not the new school elves. Like, does that help?
No, I understand the question, but
okay.
Yeah, it's a case of like no one really knows who she is or where she's come from, and whether or not that's true or not is another story. I'm also trying to like leave some stuff ambiguous in case we want to do another adventure in this setting. But the thing about the Elvish society is that it's very closed off from everyone else. They have an Elvish quarter in town, which is the only kind of access people have to their culture. Because their borders are very much shut to anyone who isn't of Elvish descent, which is, pretty gross given the world politics at the moment. But anyway,
so basically she was trying to start a war for some nefarious reason.
Exactly. That's the gist of it.
It would have been interesting if one of us had been half elven or an elf, although it didn't shake out that way.
Yeah, I had plans for that, and that didn't really come up. So anyway, I didn't want to delve too much into like the race stuff anyway. But it's more like everything that's happening is happening in the city.
What happened with the orc ambassadors? Is she okay?
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So you were at the training grounds in the Queen's Pride headquarters. You've been asked to meet Commander Amanda there. Usually it's filled with noise, people training, that sort of thing. This is a wooden structure that has like a little sandy area for practicing weapons and stuff like that. Drills, and if you wanted to learn another weapon, you can get some training there, that sort of thing. You definitely would have done some training here when you were first inducted into the Queen's Pride. Pitted against other members, learned how to use a rapier or any other weapon that you've used. So yeah, Commander Amanda, she leads you inside, and as you enter the sandy practice pit, you notice a few things. You see several of the Orc bodyguards, and they stand protectively around the Orcish ambassador. Across from them, on the other side of this this pit, is the would-be assassin. She's still in chains and is kneeling on the ground, with two members of the Queen's Pride behind her. And you stop for a second as you notice that up in the observation area, where officers can watch the cadets and recruits train, that sort of thing, sits your queen. Several Pride members around her, and she watches things with a cool air. Commander Amanda leads you to the middle of this arena and stops, indicating that you should fall in beside her. And you stand to, looking up at the Queen, as she says, "You three have performed your duties admirably. You've discovered who it was that made an attempt on my life, but perhaps not why. That information will be forthcoming soon enough, and you will be commended for your actions in due time. But for now, I have invited you here to provide witness. And she kind of like nods in direction of the kneeling figure, the assassin. Is this the individual who made an attempt on my life but a few days ago?
They may have made it on your life, or maybe on the Orcish ambassadors. We're not sure. But this is what
Amanda kind of goes, it's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Very well. She nods at the guards standing around the assassin. They lift her up and uncuff her, and then kind of drop a rapier at her feet before they draw their own weapons and stand back in their own corners. The queen kind of gestures to the Orcish people and says, then you may proceed. And Commander Amanda kind of like motions you to stand back as she pulls out her weapon and just lets it hang limply at her side. So the orcs kind of do the same thing. They back off, and you see the Orcish ambassador. She looks sickly. She doesn't look well. That whatever poison it was that hit her has done a number on her. But she puts on a good show. She shrugs off the lion-skin shawl and draws a heavy-looking longsword from her back. Queen says, then you shall bear witness to the Orcish form of judgment. Assassin, you have this one chance to redeem yourself. Should you kill this woman, then you are acquitted of your crime. This is how things are done under Orcish law.
Ooh, that's a shame. I kind of promised her all sorts of things when we were interrogating her.
Amanda says, this is the best way to reunite negotiations, ignite them again, is to let them have their all be done. I think it's a little barbaric, but hey, who am I to judge? See, the assassin kind of looks down at that thing on the ground, head still like bandaged up from the attack about a few days ago, and then looks up at the queen and then across at the Orcish ambassador and picks it up. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to end it, because I think it's pretty self-explanatory what happens next.
Giant Eagle comes in and saves her.
Yeah, swoops in, flies at a Mount Doom.
I feel a little bit sorry for her, but also like you're trying to kill the queen. What did you think was going to happen?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's this sort of stuff you sign up for when you sign up for this life.
That's it. That's the Queen's Pride.
Woo!
Yeah,
We did it.
Five part one shot. It was good. I enjoyed it though. I'm glad it turned into something bigger. I definitely would have structured some of the evidence a bit better if I knew you were going to do a little bit more of a roundabout thing. But that's okay. That's hindsight. You know, I remember, Priscilla, you mentioned last game that I've been pointing you at the White House for a while, and I was like,
yeah,
that was meant to be the one step you took. But that's okay because
but players.
Yeah, well, no, it turned into something a lot like that was a lot more fun in the end, and I had a good time with it, creating new parts of the city and the city map itself. So.
And the queen's lineage.
Yes, which never came up again, surprisingly.
Nope.
Yeah, but now you have it in case you need it.
Exactly.
In case there's an attempt on the queen's ward next.
Anyway, that's okay. Did anyone have any questions about the game itself? Like, is there anything that kind of sticks out as like, oh, you didn't explain that well enough, or like we didn't clear that up? Anything?
So were they going to kill the assassin if she had come back and was like, didn't hit her? Well, I guess that's part of the whole thing of who was the actual target though, so.
Sorry, which the assassin, the second one or the?
No, the first one, the original one that I caught.
Oh right. Yeah. I think they both utilized skills. I did forget that other one got locked up, even though we mentioned it early tonight. So yeah, I think the first one definitely used some kind of skill to like kill themselves, some sort of like something to end their own life, and then they cottoned on to that. So the second one probably still up and is just as being as uncooperative as the woman missing an arm.
Oh, so that was I thought so. The one who was
The one from the
being
apartment?
put on trial. Yeah, the one who. Oh, I forgot about that one. Okay.
Yeah. So there's the one from the apartment.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I
So
forgot
many
about that one
assassins.
too. Yeah. The first one, the one that fired the crossbow bolt, is the one that was,
Right.
facing Orcish judgment as a way of mending bridges between the two societies. And so, like, live or die, the orcs are satisfied that they got the chance to do that. So, they're happy to re-engage in negotiations. The first assassin that was in the apartment, they took a suicide pill, and the second one, I think they searched him for another pill and would have found it, and so they're still locked up for being uncooperative because they're trained for that sort of thing.
We have magical ways of making you talk, or do they in this world?
I mean, yeah, they would, and they're not above a little bit of putting people on the rack, that sort of thing. They used to do back in those days. But this is meant to be like a pretty chill thing.
Back in those days.
Yeah. Back in those, the fantastical era of the French Revolution. I don't know, that involved magic. Well, actually, this is pre-French Revolution, I suppose. But yeah. Anyway, that's the Queen's Pride. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for running.
Thanks for running it, Matt.
Nice.
No worries. And yeah, everyone tune in next Tuesday night for more Alon. Ryan will be back in the DM chair.
We'll find out what happens with the Candy Witch.
I don't want to kill an old woman, but I will.
Was she old?
You might not have to.
Well, I'm hoping I don't. See, she might be a hag. It's my guess what is happening. But
It's fine. She's got a jar full of tea. That's all.
yeah,
Okay.
just in case. These are my just in case teeth.
Yeah. I mean, they fall out all the time. You want some replacements, right?
Explain them.
She did, yeah, that's true.
Also, in the fight itself, I kind of loved how it went from like extreme gore to extreme slapstick in the space of like 6 seconds.
That's D&D though, right? That's we go from one extreme to the other, like that, just like real quick. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sticking around this late. Thanks for Caitlin for it's 15 minutes past your bedtime, so.
And that's a fantastic bear, I want to say.
Yeah,
It's a very good bear. It's a pretty good arm too. What's left of it.
The most attention on the gory end and the best wrist is like.
That's the important bit.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next Tuesday, and may all the marks out there be magical. Just the marks, though, no one else.
Yeah.
All right. Good night. Bye.
Hi.
Bye.